Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to look at the books of 1 Peter and 2 Peter. So we're getting closer to the end here of the New Testament. Now, even though these two books have Peter's name as part of the titles, it's unclear if Peter himself actually wrote them. Now remember, we saw this earlier with some of Paul's letters, that sometimes people would write in Paul's name, but Paul didn't actually write them. And they did that to give credibility to what they wrote. It's like saying this quote was said by some famous person instead of by you. If it was said by somebody well-known, then people might give it more weight than if it just came from you or somebody people don't know about, right? So this letter was kind of written in the spirit of Peter, like as something he could have said, but maybe he didn't actually say it. Maybe he didn't actually write it. So what are these books about, though? 1 Peter is a book of encouragement. It's one of the most encouraging books in the Bible because it's cheering people on. It's trying to help them continue to live the life of faith. That yes, it can be hard to follow Jesus, but this book reminds its readers to keep going, to give them this word of encouragement they need. And we've seen that a lot with these New Testament letters, that they've been very honest about the struggles that people have been going through in their lives, but it also continues to cheer them on, continues to remind them to trust Jesus. This book in particular really does that. 2 Peter talks about some conflicts that were going on in the church, particularly some arguments over doctrine and representing Jesus well. So here you've kind of got the real life struggles that people are facing, and you've got that encouragement. So you've got both. You've got the honesty of the situation that the people are going through, in particular like conflicts within the church itself, and you've still got this word of encouragement. Like, even though there's this conflict, even though people are getting on your nerves, even though this trouble is brewing, don't give up. Continue to follow Jesus, right? It's the fight the good fight sort of thing. And one of the questions that the audience of this letter had was like, the original apostles have been dying out. So what about us? Like, how do we keep going now that they've all died? Remember, this is like generations now after Jesus was here. And so this author reminds them, like, yes, I'm aware that people have died, but now it's your turn to keep going, right? You are following in their footsteps. You are continuing the legacy that they left for you. In an earlier video, I talked about Hebrews and about how we have this great cloud of witnesses who are around us. It's the same sort of idea here, right? Even though people have passed away, we now continue their line. They gave us models of faith to follow, and now we follow, and now we set examples for others to follow. And even in the midst of conflict and struggle and all of this stuff that we all know about in life, we can continue to trust Jesus, because we can see that the people before us trusted Jesus. So these two books here of 1 Peter and 2 Peter are this word of encouragement to people to keep going. And it's a word of encouragement for us to keep going, right? Because we all know that sometimes it can be hard to follow Jesus. But thankfully, there are plenty of words of encouragement in the Bible, like these two books, that remind us to keep going. God continues to work in you and through you, even in the midst of struggles, right? God is still doing a new thing. God is still bringing about new life, and God is still bringing about something new. So there's what 1 Peter and 2 Peter are about. There's your 5-minute Bible study. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.